What if you could build a business that gives you the life of freedom you deserve? What if you could find the secrets to marketing, leadership, customer service, and other aspects of business that help you exceed your goals? What if you could walk away from your business for 30 days and it never misses a beat? That's what this podcast is for, to help business leaders like you find freedom from the day-to-day grind and start spending your time doing the things you love. I'm Levi McClendon, and my co-host is Josh Taylor, and this is the Cheers to Freedom podcast.
All right, welcome to the Cheers to Freedom podcast. I am Josh Taylor, and I'm here with Levi McClendon and our Chief Operating Officer, Jeremy Renken. How are you guys?
Good. Well. Good to see you guys. Happy 2022.
2022 is here. This is the first episode of 2022. I am very excited about this episode because this is a super practical episode for any business owner, any manager, any leader. I think this is a great episode. So, Levi, Jeremy, I'm going to set the rules for us really quick because there's some rules to what we're about to do. So we have 10 things that we want to share with our listeners, but we only get 2 minutes for each thing. So we are going to share our list of what we think our customers should do for 2022 so that by this time next year, their success is be out of the charts. I mean, 2022 is just the year. Off the charts, out of the charts.
I love it.
Are you going to blow an air horn if we go over?
What's that? Oh yeah.
Air horn. You got in trouble.
Well, if you go over, your paycheck gets docked 20%. So,
perfect.
So don't go over. But I've got a timer. We're going to set a timer. And we get 2 minutes for each one. Again, this is our top 10 things that we believe.
What is this called?
It's what did you call it?
Top 10 for 2022.
Yes,
I got to get the name.
It was going to be Levi's top 10 and your wife didn't like it.
No, it was Levi's list.
Oh, Levi's list.
It got shot down.
And your wife didn't like it. And so we had to change it because when our wives don't like stuff, we have to change it.
We change it.
She didn't like Josh's list either, I guess. So this is OptSpot's top 10 list. And if you implement, we believe if those listeners, business owners that implement just 5 of the 10 things that we're going to talk about today, we believe that 2022 can be the year that blows all the other years out of the water. So this is what we're going to do. You get 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
2 minutes
for each one.
Okay.
And Levi, we're going to start with you. On my mark, you get to bring up your first one, and then we have 2 minutes to discuss it. Ready, set, and go.
And go. All right. First one we're going to talk about is automation. Okay. Automation is huge. Something we use at OptSpot, and Jeremy and I have been doing this for a long time, is slow is smooth, smooth is fast. I didn't coin that. Somebody else did. I read it somewhere and I love it because that to me is taking time, right? Sometimes we get so busy with what we're doing or we feel like we're the only ones who know how to do it. And we're going to do it this way because it's going to get done. But if we would just take some time to automate, right? To take a step back and be a little slow in the beginning, right? Get slow, take a step back so that we can be, since, slow, smooth is fast. But that to me has everything to do with automation.
Automation is the key to scaling. And I think it is the key to getting your time back as leaders. If you're a business owner, you're busy, and there's a lot of things that you're doing that can be automated. And there's so much technology out there that makes it super easy.
And I think automation, not just from, again, the marketing side of things, but hiring, right? Put a sign out there people can text to and automate that process. Quit doing manual work. Get everything digitized. I just downloaded a form the other day when one of our customers literally had a form on their website that said, sign up for membership, download a form, and they had to print it, fill it out, and bring it in. People, 2022, let's go. Automate, digitize. Jeremy, awesome. Any thoughts? Hurry, you got 30 seconds.
You got to build systems to make it. If you're going to achieve goals, you build systems to make it happen. And that's the way you're going to get there. Otherwise, you're going to fail every time.
Yeah, let the systems go because we all fail as people. So that's a really good point. So build those systems and automate. I think we did it, dude. We're good.
Yeah, we did it. We did it in like 45 seconds. Over. Very good. All right, so I get 2 minutes. My next one is surprise and delight.
Go.
I love surprise and delight because here's what it is find opportunities to create moments for your customers. We talked about this, Levi, you and I talked about this in one of the previous episodes, that people go and write positive reviews or negative reviews, really, when they get experiences they don't expect. People don't show up to a business expecting to get bad results. And if they do, they're going to go online and they're going to write bad reviews. They also don't show up to businesses to get things that they don't expect in a positive way. So when they do, they're going to go online, they're going to write positive reviews. So find ways to surprise and delight your customers and even your employees. Chip and Dan Heath wrote a book called The Power of Moments. And in that book, and I recommend you read that book, and we're going to do a book recommendation later, but I recommend you read that book because one of the things they talk about is when you create these moments for people, they remember that forever. And then those are sealed in their mind. They're burned into their brains. And you can do that with your employees. You can do that with their customers. And it almost creates your brand because they remember you by those moments. And so I think we need to
unexpected moment. It's that thing you were not expecting that happened to you when you visited. You said that just happened at that place. That is awesome. I'm never going to forget that again. And a couple examples, and we have 44 seconds, are offering, in my opinion, something a little bit different that we did is offer to check the air in somebody's tires, right? We did this. I did this. I went and checked the air, and you could not believe the engagement of those customers. Then we handed them a little card with the pressure, and they could go fill up and air up their tires. But that was the surprise and delight. They're like, that's really cool. And we told them the safety benefits and the gas mileage that they would save by having even air pressure in their tires. So, Jeremy, I'm sorry I took up time. You got 15 seconds. Anything you got for us?
I think surprise and delight also in the hard times. I know this is a quick one, but a lot of times the hard times or when things aren't going right are when you can actually surprise and delight the most because people won't expect you to come out with a better reaction than normal. So if you can figure out how to balance that, then you're going to always surprise and delight.
That's good. That's good. Really good. All right. Good. Awesome. 2 more minutes. Jeremy, you get the next one. What is yours?
Awesome. Mine is get local. Everybody's trying to figure out how to draw in new people, find new customers. They're scrambling in every different direction. And the reality is all you got to do is think local. What's around you? Are there dealerships? Where are the people going that are coming into there? Are there businesses that you could go connect with, schools, different things like that? If you can drive in local and find the people that are around you, you'll be able to bring in new people over and over all day long. So that's an easy one, it's short, but there's tons of other things that you guys can touch on.
Well, yeah. I mean, when you get in there with the community, now you build into those networks. So you've got your network of people. You go local. You find people within your circle that have other networks, and now you're moving into their networks as well. And your brand is getting known inside of their networks. Jeff Henderson wrote a great book called For. And it's really written to the church community. But one of the things that he talks about is one of the best things that we did as a church is we became a church known for our community. And so we would go out and we would promote other businesses in our church, local businesses in our church. And it made a massive difference in the way that people got behind us and our mission, and then how they got behind the community as a whole as well. So yeah, getting local is a great one.
Yeah. And I think if you can, the other thing I want to touch on real quick is I have several customers of mine that'll say, hey, we're going to advertise here, do some marketing over here at, one of them, is a barbecue restaurant. We're like, hey, we're going to put this big advertise. Even though that's local, I would say also, Jeremy, try to stick with your people, right? That's why I like the dealerships, oil and lube places where car enthusiasts go, where they are already taking care of their car. Try to find those, maybe moms, groups, people where maybe moms take their kids to get their hair cut, right? Because moms also, a lot of females are coming through with kids washing their cars. So be in those places. And with our system, of course, have something that you can exchange. Give them a free car wash by handing them those business cards that they can text in for, so you can actually drive that traffic back. And our time is up. Get local.
Very good. All right, Levi, you get number 4. Tell us what yours is.
What is it? Let's see. That was get local. Learn from your failures, right? So we want to learn from our failures, but how do we do that? And what are failures? Well, in this business, we're really taking this to cancellations. I'm going to tell you a quick story here. I played basketball as like my favorite sport in the world, and I was a point guard. And one of the things that my coach is, it resonates with me to this day. I was in 8th grade, and he said, Levi, what makes you a really good point guard is that you learn from your failure and you don't make the same mistake twice. But that really resonated with me. It's like, okay, we all are going to fail. You're going to fail as a car wash owner, as a business owner, whatever. But what are you doing to learn? And so when you get cancellations, to me, that's a failure, right? Somebody canceled for a reason. Now, of course, they move or get a new car, whatever they're doing, they're out of the area. You can't do anything about it. But if it was service, if it was quality, if it was, they didn't use it enough, whatever that is, the fact is that if you're able to track that through, again, like a manage my plan page, and you're taking that data and you're learning from it, to me, that is a gold mine to be able to learn, hear back from your community, find out why they are leaving so that you can make an adjustment for the future and hold on to customers longer.
Yeah. I believe it was Thomas Edison that said, I didn't fail 99 times. I just learned 99 times what not to do. So
love it.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Cool.
Well, good. We're ahead of time on that one.
Thoughts? Yeah, we are. We got 30
good, man.
seconds,
what are you talking about? Once you wrap it up like that, it's as good as it's like a bow on a present.
Thanks to Thomas Edison.
All right.
Josh Taylor.
So I get the next one. So the next one is stop selling and start smiling. And we've talked about this one again on a previous episode. And Levi, I don't know if you've coined that phrase or not, but we were joking around, I think at a car wash, that we were just having a conversation and you said, stop selling and start smiling. And the reality is people want to see a smile. And that goes back to that, surprise and delight kind of thing. Like, I mean, people show up at a lot of establishments and a lot of businesses, and they're not seeing smiles on the other side of the counter. And it really can disrupt your day. And people notice, and it sets the mood for people, and it sets the mood for your customers. And honestly, I think it sets the experience that your customers have. If your employees and you just simply give them a smile, I think it changes the entire, even if they have something messes up, I think it changes the entire experience. And again, it goes back to doing it with your employees as well. I think that your employees get behind your mission when they know that you're having a good time, they're having a good time. And so stop selling and start smiling. Levi, I'm going to let you hit on this one a little bit more, because you talk a lot about, using your employees more at the payroll or at the pay station to really engage your customers and less trying to sell them something.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that ultimately, when we talk about, where it's like, hey, give them a free wash, whatever, that's not a free wash. It's an experience. Give people an experience when they come in. And so those people that are at the pay stations, it's all about the experience. Again, don't be selling, upselling, whatever. Engage with them, smile with them, say hi to them, and make that experience, that day, the best experience they've had at any of the places, the stores, retailers that they've stopped for that day. Jeremy, go.
That's right. I would say even we live in a strange day with COVID and everything, masks. Some people are in places where they have to wear masks. If you're smiling behind a mask, your eyes look brighter, they look bigger, they look more engaged. They may not be able to see your mouth. Exactly. They may not be able to see it, but they know if you're smiling. And so you got to engage that. Another thing that we were talking about before we got on there is just the power of a high five. Like, I know we can't do it necessarily with everything the way that it's going, but high fives make people feel happy. Like there is something that.
Well, we'll be able to give high fives again. And when we can, Jeremy, you said that the studies show that it's 50% increase in endorphins. And so that is huge. So just that, even going out by the vacuum, I know we've gone over here, going over by the vacuums, whatever, and a fist bump, a high five or whatever, that makes people feel good. All right. Awesome. Next.
Jeremy,
next?
You get the next one.
Yep, I'll be shorter, but it's going to be good. The next one is be involved. Like, find ways to give back in your communities and to touch base and to be able to be involved in programs that are good. Whether it's a church or a school or a fundraiser, you can take money. There's time things. There's all different ways that you can connect and be involved with people, both locally. So this ties back to get local, but it also goes back to giving back and to be somebody who's thankful. As you get money and cars are coming through, there's tons of ways that you can give back into your communities. Now there's other things, and I'm gonna let you guys touch on those as far as like getting involved in the car washing community and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think, Jeremy, like to me too, being involved, there's a lot of guys I talk to that have never been to the car wash shows, right? There's a Southwest show coming up the end of February. There's a big ICA show coming up in May. Make it a goal this year, man. Those shows are amazing. The people there are amazing. To go rub shoulders with people in your industry and share ideas and be there for the forums. And these guys are doing these live presentations. It's a lot of energy and it's a lot of fun. So if you've never been to those, my encouragement this year is for you to get out and even join the Talk Car Washes. There's guys that aren't a part of that. Man, this page, this Talk Car Wash Facebook page is amazing, but don't just take, give back, give ideas, be involved. And then I'll touch on one more, is leadership with following, just another great crew of people that are there to just give people information on leadership in the car wash space. So be involved in those things, learn from them, and then be able to, again, be involved and give back. And I think that's going to be huge this year for 2022.
Yeah, there's so much to learn from the people in the space. And that's something that I've taken from this industry and the time that I've been in here, is people are so generous with their knowledge. And so be generous with your knowledge, but also learn from the people around us. So awesome. All right, Levi, you get the next one. Let's go.
All right. Where are we here? Be involved, engage and exchange. Yes, I love this one. So real quick, there's an author. He wrote a book called On Marketing. I read it years and years ago, and it's always stuck with me. And he said, people push and pray. They push and pray that people will come in instead of pull and stay. And what he was talking about is when people come in, exchange something for data. And at the time, I think it was mainly email. This is right when texting was kind of coming out. But that just really stuck with me. And so many people push tons of stuff out there and pray they come in and pray they come back. But ultimately, there's got to be, again, back to systems. What are we doing to engage and exchange? This was a podcast that we did the other day. So to me, this is really big. And this kind of just puts everything together, from smiling, from talking, from fist bumping, from surprise and delighting. That is all a part of that engagement. And I think that is so big. If you want to separate yourself in the space in any business, you need to engage. But again, Josh, we talked about this in the podcast. You've got to, it's both and. It's not one or the other. It's not, we're going to do all this and not exchange, be all, hey, friendly, but not exchange data so that we're not re-engaging with those customers. You've got to do both.
Yeah. Very good. Well, I was a pastor for a while, and one of the things that we didn't have that a lot of people that came to our church thought we should have was greeters at the door, because they were so used to having greeters at the door when you go into a church. And we would explain it, and people would ask us all the time. I was like, well, we don't want to fake you out at the door. When people come in, if somebody's talking to you, it's because they genuinely want to talk to you. Now, when you engage with a customer and don't re-engage with them and find ways to re-engage with them, it doesn't feel as authentic. You want to re-engage with those customers so that you can build that relationship with them, so that your relationship isn't only when they drive on your lot.
Absolutely.
All right. So I think I've got the next one, and that is this one probably scares a lot of people that are listening right now, but bear with me. Just think about it. Do more video. Now, it doesn't, that probably sends chills up a lot of people that are listening's backs right now. Do more video. Video is engaging. In fact, studies are still showing that the videos are one of the most, or probably the most engaging platform that you can use with your customers. Jeremy, you were telling us earlier that they came out with a study that TikTok is the most used platform right now, and it's all video. And so we've got to do more videos. You can do welcome videos for your customers. There's a great app called Bonjoro, or that you can send customer videos to your customers. You can use something like OptSpot.
I use Loom. I use Loom too. Loom is awesome.
You can use Loom. And when you think about it, just send a video to a customer. Do some welcome videos on Instagram and social media, wherever it is. Just get used to doing more videos. The more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. And I'll tell you this, there never really comes a point where you like to watch yourself on video. And there's probably never really a point where you think you're good at video. So just get over it and start doing it, because it's going to work. Just do one video, do the next video, and do the next video. And not doing anything is worse than not doing something. So start doing video, using it to engage. Just turn your iPhone around, or whatever phone you use, whatever camera you have, and just start doing videos and engage your customers.
Jeremy?
That had to be 2 minutes.
No,
we're coming to my favorite one. 20 seconds. This is the reality. We're on video right now. It's super important. People watch, people engage. When I get up, what are my kids doing? They're watching YouTube, or they're engaging in some sort of video. Young people are all on TikTok. It isn't. Everything, Instagram, Facebook has all moved to video. It was all pictures initially. It's all moved to video. We want to follow and make sure that we're right where we need to be.
Well, and it's very personal. So video is personal. And I think these owners, and our time is up because my clock's going to go off here, but really quick here, I got a little overtime. because it's personal. I feel like even when people sign up for these memberships and stuff, imagine getting a text. Obviously, we have a platform to deliver that message, and that's huge. So you're delivering a message every time somebody signs up for the membership, and it's an actual video from the owner saying, "Hey, welcome to the car wash. Here's your benefits. Thanks for signing up. Here's what you do." Hey, it doesn't need to be an amazing professionally filmed video. This could be, again, from an iPhone, but I think people love that personal touch. And if that's coming from you, I think it would go miles. So go for it. All right.
All right, Jeremy, you get the next one.
I know this is my favorite one because it's impacted me probably more than anything this year. I read a book and it talked about it getting better by 1% every day. And when I read it, it was one of those moments where I was like, wait a minute, what is this talking about? It took me a second to get back up and say, because you feel like you got to increase. Like even looking at this list, like I look at this list of 10 that we're going through and I think, oh my gosh, there's so much that I could grab and I could pull. But I realized that if I just knock off 1% every day I'm getting that much better. Every day I'm moving in a positive way. Because the reality is I'm either moving better or I'm moving worse, one way or the other. And so I have a choice to step it up or to back off. And so our goal for this year, as we've read this and gone through, and you can attest to it, Levi, we've come a long way. In 365, I mean, we're starting 2022. We've come a long way in 365 days because of that very principle. And so I'm trying to say time magnifies it magnifies everything, both good and bad. So make sure that every day, 1%, you're getting better.
Well, I love this. And Jeremy always reminds me of this. And we both read the same book. And Josh, actually, it's one of our books we're going to refer, he'll get to here in a second. But as we finish this thing up, it's so easy to be overwhelmed. It's so easy. I could work 24/7, every day, 365 days a year and never get enough done. And a lot of times I feel like I haven't done enough or we didn't accomplish this. So it's a reminder every day that, listen, guys, everyone that's listening out there, you can do 1% of increase every day. And Jeremy, I appreciate you telling me that and always going back to, dude, 1%. And it puts things into perspective. And you're right. We've accomplished a lot and people out there have accomplished a ton from a simple positive, right? You're either moving this way or this way.
Absolutely.
It's like when I'm doing math with my kids, the positive and negatives, right? They don't really get that, the whole negative chart. But let's go this way. Let's go on the positive side. Even if it's 1% every day, by the end of the year, we're going to crush it.
Yeah. Well, and that brings us to the last one, is the book recommendations. And what you guys are talking about, the book you're talking about is a book called Atomic Habits by James Clear. And one of the quotes that he has in this book, it says, habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. The same way that money multiplies through compound interest, the effects of your habits multiply as you repeat them. So as you decide to get better every day, 1%, that's compounding interest. So it's just like the way that your stocks work or your investments work, is that compounding interest builds and builds and builds. So by the end of 365 days, if you've gotten better 1% every day, what does that stack up to? And you can do the math on what that would be, and you're much better 1 year later than where you were. So that is one book that we really highly recommend that you guys read in 2022.
Who's the author of that, Josh?
James Clear is the author of Atomic Habits.
James Clear.
Right. And two other books that I really highly recommend that you read in 2022 is Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller. And some of you guys have heard us talk about that. And that is something that has revolutionized the way that I see business. Honestly, it's revolutionized the way that I see the world, everything in the world, whether it's relationships, marketing, business, whatever it might be. It's changed everything. And so I highly recommend that you read Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller. And then I mentioned it earlier, Power of Moments by Chip and Dan Heath. This is also, I think every business owner should read this. And I would actually encourage you to give it to your managers as well and have them read Power of Moments by Chip and Dan Heath.
Awesome. Well, we've covered a lot of information, and in a short amount of time, this has been really fun to hang with you guys. And those of you listening out there, if you want to get this list and want to follow this podcast, text cheers to 411-365. So start a text to 411-365. In the body of the text, you're going to type in cheers, hit send. We're going to hook you up with all of these top 10, the OptSpot's top 10 list. And then, of course, you'll be on that list for future podcasts.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys. Welcome to 2020. I'm excited about this year.
2022. You said
2022.
So, oh my goodness.
Dude, we do
not.
Go back. Oh, good
heavens.
Let's
not go
2020.
Back We're in 2022. I don't know where my brain was. But I'm excited about what this year is going to bring, not just for us, but those of us that are listening. I just think that this is going to be a great year. And we encourage you, don't try to tackle all 10 of these that we talked about. Try 5, get 5 of them, and start reading some of those books that we recommend. And I think that you're going to see 2022 do some amazing things.
Awesome. All right. Hey, Jeremy, thanks for being our guest today.
Absolutely.
It's always great having you on. Well, always great. It's your first time, but you're going to be on more.
All right. Hey.
Sounds good.
All right, guys. Have a good one. Let's have an awesome 2022.
Now you're doing it.
Until next time.
Cheers.
Cheers.
See you guys.